What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Garry sends a warning to Belal Muhammad and Belal responds. Garry and Belal Muhammad have wasted no time before ramping up the trash talk ahead of their upcoming fight in Qatar next month. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show this week, Garry fired off a warning at the former champion. I'm going to finish Belal Muhammad. I want to go out there and leave it unquestionable that I'm the single greatest welterweight walking on this planet. While Garry has his sights set on the title fight, Muhammad fired back with a couple of shots of his own on social media. You can't call for a title fight if you're afraid to make the fight 5 rounds. He then confirmed that their upcoming fight is set for 3 rounds. He wouldn't take it unless it was 3. With the fight just over a month away, the MMA community has been pretty torn on who gets the job done. During an interview with ESPN MMA, Alan Juban shared his thoughts. This matchup for me is which Belal is going to show up. And I don't know if that necessarily dictates if he's going to win or not. But the Belal before the JDM fight was able to take down every single person, even some of our best grapplers in the UFC. He was dumping them on their head. We didn't see that Belal against JDM. He thought it was going to come out and beat Canelo with the hands, and it didn't work out. He tried to get to the wrestling a little bit too late. In this matchup, he needs to go to the wrestling early from the start of the bell against Ian Machado Garry. He's too tall, too fast on the feet. While Garry's preparing for Belal Muhammad, he also used his appearance on the Ariel Helwani show to take some shots at another former champ, Leon Edwards. I've been saying this for a long time. Leon Edwards should be retired. And we might see that. I'm shocked he took the Pratis fight in the first place. If he was willing to fight me for all or nothing, I'd fight him in a heartbeat because I'd make sure he'd leave there absolutely punch round, unconscious, and then leave with no benefit. But I have no desire to see him nor his team ever. I'm going to have a Brazil flag on my shoulders come November 15th, cheering Carlos Pratis on and watching him spark Leon Edwards unconscious. Considering Edwards fights Pratis the week before, expect the former champ to field questions about Garry's trash talk. Dana White adds UFC 321 fight last minute. With UFC 321 being next week, we got another addition to the pay-per-view card. It was reported this morning by Lerta Viana that Valter Walker will fight Louis Sutherland. This is after the whole situation in UFC Rio where Walker's fight was off due to Muhammad Usman, the brother of Kamaru Usman, showing elevated signs of testosterone back in September. With that aside, are you happy with this fight being added to UFC 321? Let us know in the comments. Cory Sandhagen calls out Sean O'Malley for UFC White House. Leading up to his title fight with Merab Dvalishvili, Cory Sandhagen mentioned wanting to defend the title against Sean O'Malley. Although he came up short, Sandhagen revealed on the Ariel Helwani show this week that he has his sights set on a fight with the former champion.
I think that me and O'Malley has to happen.
There it is. That's the one.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to do it, man, it's now. I don't know if he's booked on anything or that White House card would be sick to fight on against O'Malley. I think that there's one fight in the division that people are like really calling for like over and over and over again, and it's me and O'Malley. So yes. I mean, if you threw us on that White House card, I think that would be such a gigantic fight. It's kind of a ways away, you know, so I'm not stoked on that, but for such a huge card against such a good fighter and a really big opportunity for kind of the both of us to give the fans what they really want to see, it'd be worth waiting for. So that's what I want.
From the sounds of things, however, a fight between the two may not be next. During a recent live stream on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, Song Yadong announced that he'll be fighting O'Malley either on the UFC 324 card or UFC 325 early next year. While Sandhagen came up short, he had nothing but positive things to say about the champion when discussing Dvalishvili's quick turnaround in December. Merab is an animal for that. All the respect in the world for that, because he doesn't have to do that, but he wants to. That dude is a unique individual. Good for him for fighting again that soon, because I would never do that. While he was on the wrong end of a decision, Sandhagen is hoping to get back in the win column and earn himself another crack at the title. As we're on the topic of the UFC White House, Dana White had a post-fight press conference after the Contender Series last night. During his interview, Dana revealed that they haven't even talked about one fight that could be on this card.
Just recently, the UFC suspended Conor McGregor for the anti-doping policies that he for the restriction on that. Is he still going to be considered for the White House card since that'll be up in March?
I don't know. We're not even looking at the White House card till February. We have literally not talked about one fight on the White House card yet. We won't even start till February. Okay. And then whether he's available or not, talk to Nowitzki about that.
Reinier goes off on Paulo Costa. Before Brendan Allen stepped in as the short-notice replacement opponent on the upcoming UFC Vancouver card, it looked like Reinier may wind up sharing the octagon with Paulo Costa. As RDR explained during an interview with MMA Fighting this week, Costa had way too many stipulations. Costa would have been fun just because it's a fun dude. The entire build-up would have been cool, so he was up first. We were in conversation with him first, before he put up too many stipulations. He wanted a catch weight. He wanted 3 rounds instead of 5. So we said, if you don't want it, then you don't get it. I would say, if you get an opportunity like that, don't be a just say yes. Don't put any stipulations there, and he would have had a great chance to be back into title conversation. But he put all those stipulations there, and we said we'll move on and see if there's somebody else who just wants to take the fight. While RDR and Allen are set to share the octagon this coming weekend, so far there's been no word on when Paulo Costa would be back in the octagon after his win over Roman Kopylov back in July. UFC updates. Heading into this weekend's card in Vancouver, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a new addition to the UFC Vegas 110 card at the start of next month. According to Marcel Dorff, Miles Johns and Muin Gafurov are set to throw down in a bantamweight bout that will see Johns look to snap a 2-fight skid and Gafurov look to build on a 2-fight win streak. The following weekend, Jamal Emmers will collide with Haider Amil following the withdrawal of Austin Bashi earlier in the week. Emmers heads into the fight after finishing Gabriel Miranda back in March, while on the flip side, Amil will be looking to bounce back from the first loss of his career. There's also a new addition to the UFC 323, with Marvin Vettori set to fight Bruno Ferreira. Vettori is in the midst of a 2-fight skid. The most recently saw him lose to Brendan Allen, while on the flip side, Ferreira is riding a 2-fight win streak into the bout. In other news, following his win this past weekend, Charles Oliveira is back to number 15 on the pound-for-pound rankings, landing behind Arman Tsarukyan at number 14. We also have an update on Mike Musumeci, who revealed to Ariel Helwani that he's now a free agent. My contract is actually up now with UFC, so I'm up for renegotiation. There's a lot of learning that they have to do and build because it takes time to do this. Moving on, we have the one and only Chuck Liddell getting married this past weekend, with people reporting that MMA legends like Forrest Griffin, Matt Hughes, Luke Rockhold, and Josh Koscheck were all in attendance. Lastly, we have Dana White saying Ilia Topuria will most likely fight on the first Paramount card.
But I wanted to ask about the January card in Paramount, and what do you have anything special planned for that, and when do you start putting that?
Literally today. Matchmaking was today, and we started working on the first Paramount card today.
Okay, I'm not expecting you to say anything, but do you think there's a chance Ilia Topuria could end up on that card? Big star.
It's a possibility.
Tom Aspinall warns UFC heavyweights about his skills. Because Tom Aspinall has never made it out of the second round throughout his MMA career, there's not a ton of footage for potential opponents to study. Leading up to his fight with Ciryl Gane, the champ explained to RMC Sport Combat that because he wins so quick, we've only had a chance to see 10 to 20% of what he can actually do. If I can go through my career and nobody's seeing anything, that's ideal for me because each long fight the opponent gets to see more and more. This is my 10th UFC fight, but people have only seen 10 to 20% of what I can actually do. That's one of the biggest advantages I've got, that nobody knows what I can do. On top of the fact that he's never been to a third round throughout his MMA career, Aspinall has only been past the first round once in his UFC career. Whether Ciryl Gane can change that and give the champion his toughest test to date, only time will tell. Ronda Rousey shouldn't be cleared to fight, according to UFC Analyst. Last summer, Ronda Rousey revealed during an appearance on Chris Van Vliet's Insight podcast that even if she wanted to return to the UFC, she isn't neurologically fit to compete. Now, however, after giving birth and getting back in the gym, there's been tons of talk about Rousey potentially returning to action again. The way Dean Thomas sees things, Rousey shouldn't be cleared to fight. During a recent appearance on The Bonfire, Thomas went so far as to say that it would be irresponsible for a promotion to book the former champion to fight. She shouldn't even be cleared. How irresponsible would it be for a fight organization to hear all that, then put her in a fight? To me, it almost sounds like you might have leaked that stuff in hopes that they don't put you back in a fight. You can't play with those issues. It wouldn't be good for the sport. It would be a real bad look on the sport to have someone complaining about those types of issues, and then you, knowing that, you still put her in a fight. If that's the case, we've got to keep her out of the octagon. As the former champion revealed during a recent interview with TMZ Sports, she's simply enjoying being in the gym again and finding her rhythm. Frankie Edgar goes off on BKFC for canceled fight. After having his BKFC fight with Jimmy Rivera canceled at the 11th hour, Frankie Edgar isn't too happy with BKFC. Edgar opened up on the situation, recalling how after weeks of training, his manager got an email saying that the BKFC owner's doctor advised the promotion against allowing him to fight, despite the fact that he already signed a contract months prior. I passed every single one of my medicals. I did a ton of medicals. I was running around, every single doctor said my stuff was great. Now the promotion was trying to say they didn't get my medicals, which is they got all my medicals. Now they didn't send my medicals to the commission. I gathered all my medicals and I gave them to them. I got a call from someone there and they said the doctor from the commission reviewed your medicals and he said, you look fantastic. It's just shady. It's just shady, bro. Honestly, I want to be more mad and pissed off, but I just can't let it consume me that much. You guys dogged me in my own date. That's crazy. That's up. I thought BKFC had something. I was like, wow, this is pretty entertaining. They got something. But not if they treat fighters like this. I'll tell you what, fighters out there, beware. Listen, they're giving me something pretty much so I don't sue them for the whole purse, you know. That's it. That's where we're at. While Conor McGregor said after Edgar was pulled from the card that he hopes the former champion can fight on a future card, it sounds like that won't be the case. Khamzat calls out Alex Pereira for 205 fight. During a recent interview with Aslanbek Badayev, Khamzat called out Alex Pereira for a fight at 205 pounds and believes that he could take that belt to become a double champ. He said, if you ask me, of course I would love to fight for the second belt. It's no secret the guy who's got the belt at 205 pounds now is a very good matchup for me, except for, should I get reckless standing with him? They say he has a lot of power, but I've never been edged out in that area. He used to fight at 185 too, and then moved up to 205, so I would like to fight at light heavyweight. But whatever they give me, Nasruddin, De Ridder, or Hernandez, I don't care. Just pay me some good money. When you take it so easy, I've always been like that. If you consider yourself the best, you shouldn't care who you have to fight. Khamzat then talked about the DDP fight, and basically saying that he thought the fight was going to be a lot harder than it was. Khamzat said this, to be honest, I thought the guy would be a little stronger, but he's not a weak fighter. I just didn't give him much of a chance. Wrestling and grappling technique I have on another level. Well, so it did not work out for him to show what we wanted. He's not an ordinary fighter. Do you want to see Khamzat fight Alex Pereira at light heavyweight? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.